We all have characters that mean something to us, characters that inspire us, characters that we relate to, characters who are just like us for real. I have a ton of these, but one has always stuck with me, and that character is Charlie Brown. You know, that probably sounds like sad as hell, right? When I think about it like that.
I wish they liked me. Nobody likes me.
For those who don't know, Charlie Brown is a center character in a comic strip called Peanuts, created by Charles Schulz in 1950. For as long as I can remember, the Peanuts franchise has always meant the world to me. Its music is incredibly iconic, its characters are unique and fun to watch, and these stories and these lessons really stick with you years after you experience them. Charlie Brown is essentially the neighborhood loser. He sucks at sports, he can't fly a kite, he can't talk to girls, and nobody really seems to like him. Son, have you ever read the first Peanuts comic? They get mad at him just for walking. This can't be real.
Why do you hate me?
He is extremely insecure, and the story itself never tries to reward him or change his outlook. Charlie Brown can never kick the football. He's gonna fail the spelling bee, and that girl he spent the entire episode looking for doesn't even like him. One thing that Schulz doesn't do is sell children the fantasy of their dreams coming true. For better or for worse, he's gonna really let the audience sit in the disappointment of its characters and instead teach them to move on and to keep going. It's the reason why he never confirmed the existence of the Great Pumpkin for Linus, or never let Charlie Brown win a baseball game. I don't want to portray him as like this grumpy guy, because he does know how to write satisfying endings for his characters, but this is a vastly different approach to storytelling, and the older I get, the more I can appreciate that more grounded and cynical yet useful approach. But in 2015, the animation studio Blue Sky created a 3D animated film called The Peanuts Movie, helmed by Schultz's son. Not only is this film a big celebration of the franchise as a whole, but it also fundamentally changes the way that Charlie Brown is written in a very fascinating way. The film starts with Charlie Brown trying to fly a kite and fails in front of his own neighborhood. Lucy, without hesitation, reminds Charlie Brown that no matter what he does, he will continue to fail at everything purely off the fact that he's Charlie Brown.
You will never get that kite to fly. Why? Because you're Charlie Brown.
What do you mean? Why would you say that?
A few moments later, we find out a new kid moved into the neighborhood. Charlie Brown is most excited to meet someone who doesn't know his past failures, someone he can meet with a clean slate. The new kid turns out to be the little red-haired girl, Heather, who Charlie Brown immediately falls for, but he doesn't have the courage to talk to her, so he seeks out his neighborhood therapist, Lucy? Son, have you ever thought how nasty it is for your therapist to be your main op in the neighborhood? This is genuinely one of the sickest guys I've ever seen in a cartoon ever. This is so disgusting. Could you imagine?
You fat big body Bill, bitch.
Yeah,
Your fucking stomach got stomachs.
Well,
Your fucking
that's not
titties
true,
got titties. You have no curves.
Okay,
You're built like a fucking brick.
I'm
You look
gonna
like
just
your
go to
favorite
therapy.
licorice.
I'm gonna just go to
You
my
look like every
therapist.
time you-
Hello, kind sir. What seems to be the issue today? I am here to cater to all of your worries and fears.
I think I need to move. She tells him to start to see himself as a winner, so he starts to put himself out there more and try new things. He joins a school talent show to put on a magician act to impress Heather, but after his little sister Sally bombs her set list, he puts off his plans and helps out Sally's. Next, he spends the whole night learning how to dance to impress Heather at the school dance, but he slips and triggers the fire alarm and ruins the entire dance. Later on, we see Charlie Brown actually scored the perfect score on his midterm exam. This gives him a big ego boost, as his classmates now see him as this celebrity-like figure. But on the night to accept his award, he finds out that he signed his name on the wrong test. And on the stage, in front of everyone, in front of Heather, he admits that he can't accept the award and leaves empty-handed. For his last attempt to impress her, Charlie Brown and Heather get paired up for a book report. Charlie Brown reads the entire book of War and Peace, which, mind you, is like 1,400 pages long, and he's in elementary school. I'm not gonna lie, he better than me, because if it was me in that situation, I'm about to do my report on One Piece and call it a day.
Pinnacle of the medium. Like I said earlier, William Shakespeare is shaking in his boots. He's shaking in his grave right now. Like, ooh.
He then writes out the entire report in one weekend, but it got ripped up into 1,000,000 pieces on the day it's due. I mentioned earlier that this film fundamentally changes the way that Charlie Brown is written, but for the most part, these events feel pretty on brand for the type of person that he is. He starts out with good intentions, tries to execute, and fails at the end. Here's where the story detours. In the end of the school year, everyone is assigned to choose a person in class to be their pen pal, and surprisingly, Heather chooses Charlie Brown as her pen pal. This sends Charlie Brown into a spiral as he tries to wrap his head around why she would choose him out of everyone in the class. And Linus tells him something that literally breaks my heart every time I hear it.
It might be time to consider the wild possibility that you're a good person and that people like you.
In a last-ditch effort, he runs to finally talk to Heather face to face and asks why she chose him after all of his failures. And she tells him she sees the type of person that he is, the compassion he showed to his sister during the talent show, the bravery he showed at the school dance, the honesty in rejecting the awards in the assembly, and the selflessness it takes to write an entire book report on his own. She notices all these traits that Charlie Brown can't see in himself. And it's not until he goes up to talk to her that he starts to realize them. This moment is incredibly cathartic, especially if you grew up watching Charlie Brown's misadventures. I don't know, it just feels like for the first time, the story and the narrative itself rewarded Charlie Brown and celebrated his good heart. I think that's why this film carries like this finale-esque quality to it for me. It's the payoff for years of failures and mishaps. It's the moment that Charlie Brown finally wins. All right, let's get real for a second. I strongly believe that Charlie Brown is the most relatable character ever created. In some way, deep down, I think we all see ourselves in Charlie Brown. The way that he works hard to succeed, his perseverance, or his failures, his lack of confidence. I don't know about you, but I know I definitely felt like that before. But to me, Charlie Brown embodies one of the most important virtues you can learn in life, and that's to never give up. No matter how many times you fail, no matter how many times people embarrass you or laugh at you, to keep your head up and remaining true to yourself is the most important thing. Charlie Brown is never going to kick the football. He's never going to be able to win a baseball game. He's never going to fly a kite. But that's not going to stop him from trying, because if there's a chance of failing, there's also a chance at winning. And as long as that chance exists, he's gonna keep trying. It can be extremely hard to know what to do when times get hard, and there really isn't a step-by-step guide to build your life back on track after events occur that could derail it. It's never easy to know what direction to turn to, especially when it feels like each direction that you choose is the wrong one. These feelings, these emotions, they don't magically go away. They're reoccurring. And that anxiety, that fear of failure, it can live with you. It can really feel like the world's coming to an end, but it doesn't. No matter how hard it seems, no matter how impossible your goals might look to someone else, it's always important to keep going, because you never truly know who you might be inspiring along the way. How many people look to you and admire your persistence and strength. It's always a wild thought, but you have the power to impact those around you, regardless of you yourself are feeling positive or not. Because you'll never really guess how many people you might meet that will inspire you in turn. In a time where you might lose hope or your sense of self, Charlie Brown reminds us to keep going. Because if he can get back up and try again, why can't you?